Every hardstyle kick starts with a transient, and if you get this part wrong, your kick will never hit as hard as it could. In this video, I'll show you 7 different ways to improve the attack of your kicks, from simple moves to techniques most producers never knew existed. Let's get into it. So, when we make the punch of a hardstyle kick, we usually don't care about the dynamics of it. All we care about is the tonality and character, and so often we end up with something like this. We get a punch that has a nice character, but it completely lacks power and that slap that a punch should have. This is the typical scenario of making hardstyle kicks. So from here, what we have to do is edit the punch further and add additional layers to bring in that power. And these are the ways we can do that. We'll start with the basics. One of the easiest ways to add more power to the transient is to use a duplicate of the punch itself. So we duplicate the punch, and what we want to do is shorten the duplicate down to just the transient, so that the transient is playing on top of the original punch, which enhances just that part. Let's take a listen to it. And you want to play around with the level and the length and the fade to get it in a good spot. Some people may be asking, doesn't this cause phase issues when we place the two samples on top of each other? It actually won't, because as long as the samples are perfectly aligned, and as long as we don't start adding plugins that shift the timing of the samples, the two samples are reinforcing each other rather than causing phase issues. Even a minimum phase EQ can throw this off because of phase shifts. So if you want to EQ the duplicate, make sure you use linear phase. Otherwise, just stick to editing the sample and use the volume faders. Sticking with adding additional layers to bring out the transient, many people like to use percussion elements to create the transients in their kicks. You can pretty much use anything that has a sharp transient: rides, hi-hats, snares. Honestly, it doesn't matter what the source is. The thing that matters is that the element has a transient character that can be used for the punch. In this case, I've used a generic hardstyle snare. And once again, we want to shorten it down to form a transient and see what we can get. I think using percussion elements like this is a decent way to create a transient, but there is one caveat to using this technique. Many samples are repurposed and reused, and when you use a generic sample like this, you're pretty much guaranteed to find it in hundreds and hundreds of other samples out there. Now, if you use one of these samples in your project and it's playing at the same time as your punch, you could potentially experience phase cancellation, and you'd end up with a weaker punch again. This is small details and it's not guaranteed to happen, but it can, and it's something to be aware of. Let's look at transient shaping. This is one of the simplest ways to add more energy to the transient. Most DAWs have their own transient shaper, and there's tons of free ones out there too. I like the kilohertz transient shaper because it's easy to use and it has one of the better detection behaviors out there. In the kilohertz transient shaper, the attack determines how much energy is put into the transient. The speed determines for how long we want that energy to be present in the transient. So when turned all the way up, it's a very short amount of time. And the pump feature is ducking the signal right after the transient, which makes the transient stand out more. It's a very simple way of bringing out the transient. Compared to other techniques we're going to look at, it doesn't allow us to be super precise about the shaping of the transient, but it's a quick and easy way to get 95% of the way. Alright, let's look at compression. Compared to using a transient shaper, compression is a step up in terms of customizability of the transient. This does depend on the compressor, of course, but if we look at something like the FAB filter compressor, which is extremely flexible, we do get to control the transient in a bit more detail. So these compression settings are pretty extreme, but the general idea is to set the attack time to let enough of the transient through and then compress the rest of the body so that we get the transient to stand out. As we can hear, the compression can be customized to make the transient really snappy and thumpy, or the compression can be slower to make for a longer transient. The settings will depend on how much transient the punch already has to begin with, as well as what the goal is for the punch. But compression is generally a great tool for shaping the punch. Real quick guys, check out my website. There's helpful free tools like this spectrum analyzer, and if you use Silent One, this preset pack is as good as it gets for hardstyle leads. Scan the code or use the link in the description. Now we get into the more advanced techniques. Volume shaping is one of my favorite ways of editing the punch in general. It's a great way to control the dynamics of the punch, and it can be used to shape the transient at the same time. You could totally use regular volume automation for this, but the reason I like to use a plugin like Shaperbox is because it does give finer controls, and it allows me to use it as part of a plugin chain. Let's take a listen to it. So once again, we use a curve that brings out the transient of the punch. The body is getting reduced quite a bit because that way the transient will be the louder element in comparison. And as you can see, I used a gain plugin after the volume shaping, because with volume shaping, we only take volume away, right? So to compensate, I place a gain plugin right after to compensate for the loss in level. And when used together, we get a total recomposition of the punch without any perceived loss in the overall level. Alright, so let's take a look at Whitenoise. Whitenoise is a super versatile tool in electronic music. It can be used in so many different ways, and in the case of hardstyle kicks, it actually works really well as a layer for the punch. What we have here is a very simple Whitenoise patch. It's mono, and it makes use of the ADSR and the mod envelopes to create this short burst of white noise. Now, since this is generated by the oscillator, it's random every time, so you should probably bounce this down when used for the kick. But to demonstrate, let's add this to the punch and see what it does to the transient. That's a huge difference, and the great thing about using a synth is that it's fully customizable. We can make it longer if we want it to linger into the punch. We can make it stereo. We can make the transient stand out even more with the mod envelope. And to the thing we talked about before about using samples and the potential phase issues, we don't have that issue here because the white noise is a unique layer every time. Lastly, we have another layering method, this time using a click sound that's generated by a synthesizer. This is one of my favorite layers to add to punches, once again because it allows for full flexibility within the synth and because it very reliably improves the sound of punches. This layer is made from a laser kick, and with processing it turns into a very short clicky element. It's not much different from using the other layering methods. It's the same in that it's an element that's shortened down to just the transient part, except this one has the strength of being fully customizable in the synth as well. Here's what the kick sounds like with this layer. So the click layer fills in exactly the part that's needed in the punch to make it nice and powerful. And it does a really good job at cutting through the mix as well. Let's take a listen to all the different techniques one after the other. The great thing about these techniques is that they can be mixed and matched depending on what the kick needs and what you're trying to achieve. So if you want the transient to really stand out, you can use one of the layering techniques and then use compression or transient shaping. That'll really push the transient in your face. Alright, that's all for kick transients. If you have any questions about the video, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.